and communicate as much as possible with like-minded people in the open as much as possible. And don't fall for none of the fear tactics. And we good.
So we should be getting closer to our family, you saying?
Yeah.
Rod, a lot of people don't fuck with their family, Rod. I'm sorry to tell you, man. People be like,
listen, Rich, even if they don't mess with their own family, they mess with a family.
Yeah, you're right.
They got a family that they love. Like, this the family I should have been born in.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the tribe energy. They tribing up doing that.
Right.
Your relatives is people you born with. Your friends is the family you pick, and your family is the ones that ride with you till the wheels fall off.
Right.
The bonds of affection is tied by the ties of loyalty, right? And you know the ones that got your best interest at heart. Like anywhere I go, if I got a relative there, I can pull up and go get a blanket out the closet and lay down and go to sleep.
Right.
They're not gonna have no problem with it. But there's some people that can't do that.
Yeah.
They show up at their family house, they might meet firearms.
Yeah.
But everybody got a family that they click with.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we never had orphans. Because somebody gonna take you in. But the family dynamic is not gonna change. Family gonna have a family structure. They're going to have strong ties. They're going to enjoy each other. They're going to commonly gather, you know, and do what family do.
Indeed. Oh, man, what a show, right, y'all? What we got? We got about 3,000 people in the chat. I know y'all enjoyed it. Y'all done stuck around, man. All 3,000 y'all done stuck around. Man, Rod, what a show, man. I'm glad I called you to do this show tonight, and I'm glad we chose the topic. Once again, family, me and Rod are going to do a part 2 to help us to tap into our ESP, extrasensory perception, telepathy, telekinesis, all that good stuff, all these abilities we got. We're going to do a part 2 on my Patreon next week, definitely. Make sure you're a part of Patreon, family. Also, the Not Eat the God Fest will be on Patreon as well. So you want to be a Patreon to get all of the goodies, all right? Rod, any contact info you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
You know, they can find me on Facebook at Rod Hayes. My profile and background change often. And you can find me on the SikApe on Instagram. Otherwise, you catch me here with Brother Rich or with the young elder over there. And occasionally other people invite me, and I show up there too. Shout out to True Seekers 88. They had me on there a couple times on Rumble, right? The reason why they call it the Sandbar is the reference to the Plymouth, because they had to keep that ship out there in order to maintain the term called occupation. If you don't understand military occupation, then you don't even, that's why you can't unravel American history. The military occupation is something that happened as a result of a war and an invasion. If you go back to 2001, you can get a crash course in military occupation of two countries after 9/11, Iraq and Afghanistan. They handled both of them different, but they occupied both of them, right? One, they established a whole new leadership regime, right? And the other one, they just shifted the political party that was ruling out of the picture and put an alternative political party in power. The side effect to that is the political party they put in power was infiltrated by the political party that they ousted and then reclaimed under the same name that you put out there. And that's why they keep saying America never won a war. They say we won, but we always end up paying the bill like we losing. Look, the Cold War.
Right.
If you get a 1995, 85, 75 almanac, and you look for gross domestic product, gross national product, right? Then you look for economic aid. Go to the country of Russia, and it's going to tell you in there exactly how much annual aid Russia, the USSR, was getting from the United States. It roughly was about $6 billion a year, right? When Israel was established, America was paying Israel under the pretense of World War II reparations. So that means that we had to lose to Germany. Operation Paperclip.
Yeah,
right?
I was wondering why they was paying them, bro. You just told me that why, because I was like, damn, why we paying? They lost to Germany, the one that did them, you know.
So they want us to think we won the First World War, the Second World War. They want us to think that the same people won the Civil War, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the American Revolution. That's not the case. Anything that would cause what's called lose face, right? If anything caused you to lose face, that means you lose value in the presence of others. Then they have to cover that up. They don't want you to know they weak as they are, because they relying on you to let them use your strength that you don't even know you lending them.
I didn't even know that them. That's the reason why they were paying. Because I was trying to figure out, why is America paying Israel for what Germany did to them? They don't even make no sense. So now,
if you go through the almanac, almost every country America was giving economic aid to. Some of them is classified, most of them is economic aid or some kind of financial relief. Mm-hmm. And we the richest country in the world, well, we paying every country in the world. Right. That don't make sense. You can't keep your status if you got a leak in your rear end.
Yeah. That's what Donald Trump said about the that we was paying $300 billion or something to Canada every year. And then I know why they pay Japan. Japan is because of the they dropped the bomb on them, and that's like international type things when they gotta but what's the deal on that? Go ahead.
The pride of the Japanese, they've been stopped accepting reparations for World War II.
Yeah.
You know what they trying to do? They trying to outdo America in auto manufacturing, clothing manufacturing, technical manufacturing, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And hold on one second now. This episode's calling.
Hey, y'all, if you just not tuning in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We got SikApe in the Northgate. We're going to take questions, get some of y'all questions from the crowd, man, so we can, take some of the questions y'all might have. And I got a couple questions for Rod to start it out, and then we'll take questions from y'all. So if you're just not tuning in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share it. And we're going to crack heads and twist caps, man. You already know how Rod do it. We picking the lock here. We picking we going through the time machine, and we piecing the puzzle together. Most of my questions is stimulated around. We're gonna get to your questions, Sugar Shane. Hey, most of my questions is stimulated around what's going on now. Hey, Rod. So you left off while Japan said that they don't want to take no money from U.S. dollars no more. Nobody wants the U.S. dollar for that matter.
Well, that was before BRICS.
Go ahead.
Japan is trying to outcompete in productivity and quality products. Hold on. Let's show you something. I was working at GM. They was telling us about this guy, to start doing research on him. His name is Dr. Deming, and he came up with this quality program for productivity, what they call quality control measures. The Japanese, when Ford, Chrysler, GM turned him down and said they didn't want to hear it. So because he was already an auto executive, he was going on a trip to Japan. He presented it to the Japanese auto manufacturers. This is why where your Lexus come from, your Lexus and your Infiniti. So when he presented it to them, they was like, that's the key, because if you go back to before the 70s and even in the 70s, when you seen something that has a stamp on it said made in America, you knew you had some top of the line A1 best made stuff on the planet. Don't nobody do it like us. But now we doing everything using cheaper material, shortcutting the labor to maximize profits, and is making the products crap. So they stick to the quality dynamic. So they stealing our reputation by stealing our quality productivity ratio that we used to maintain, right? That's the difference in the architecture of old and the architecture of today. Some of these buildings is 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 years old. They look like they was built 200 years ago. And some of these new buildings been around 30, 40 years. They look like it's time to tear them down. Right?
That's facts. Hey, now, but now that, okay, this is my next question for you, because we got Trump in there. He rolling out the plan. Well, people say, oh, he went down by paying 2025, but it seemed like to me he rolling it right out, straight out the gate. Now, this real ID thing, you heard anything about that? Because I looked it up and it said May 7th that they'll be rolling out this real ID and start.
The real ID came out in 2010. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it said like they had a mandate on there. I looked it up. I think it was 20.
Go look up what a mandate. You got a Google on your
law. Yeah, mandate not a law. I know mandate not a law. Law or request, a mandate or ordinance, a code. None of them. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that if you for my Moors. But I'm saying,
you know, we went over what a mandate is, and I know a lot of the sisters been around for a minute. They don't want no mandate.
They don't want no mandate. All right, we'll go to the next question. So my next question is, because people was asking, because I'm really going off the questions that the people asked in the recent shows. When Ron come back on, asking this.
The only one that wasn't betrayed immediately was Tucson. When they murdered him, that's when they infiltrated.
That was a stronghold.
Right. And now they don't want to close the conjure because that means that they lose all power. They got to close the Haitian conjure, and Haiti keep getting hit with shit because they got an open war conjure that's over 200 years old. At the close of the age, that shit has to be closed out.
Okay.
But there's some motherfuckers that look like us that's trying to stop everything. They can't stop nothing, though. We know they is. It ain't no secret no more. The secret that they had ain't no secret no more. Now they exposed to the public. Now they got to get exposed publicly. Fuck them. I don't got no sympathy for them.
But why did they do it?
Because they wanted to claim Earth for their own. They ain't from here.
So
they was a different species similar to us.
No, so I know that.
From a different type of universe.
Okay, so I know that. So then when they came here, they had to take the form of like
the highest evolutionary organism on the planet,
yes.
which was the melanated.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. And we were peaceable people, just like in the Bible when they talk about, what was it? Was it Babylon? No.
We was, look,
Before
we
Babylon?
still warriors, right? But we had ran out of wars to fight
Right.
because we had got so intelligent that war was like asinine, foolish, and childish.
We had come to that
That's how it
level of,
evolved.
right,
Right.
consciousness.
So the golden age has to bring this back to the surface so that we know the level of potential our mind have in order to move into a golden age again.
Mm.
Because that's where we're going. And the sun cycle brings the golden age.
Mm.
In the Jubilee year, 2022 is the Jubilee year. It's the final closing out of all of the contracts that held people hostages and enslaved.
Mm.
By the close of the year, there will be no more contracts that's open.
Mm-hmm.
They'll all be closed. And the only thing we're going to have to work on is getting Haiti to close that war contract.
Okay. So I had a dream a long time ago, and it was of Oya. And so I know that they're a dying breed, but it's just like the reason why I pitch community and unity so hard is because, like you said, they separated us and they lied to us so we could fight off each other and kill off each other. But that artificial intelligence and like that, everybody is so big on having the newest Tesla and all of these things. Like, I hate to sound so old school, but I just feel like that's their last hoorah.
Okay, so what they did, this is what make it difficult for us to face the short struggle we gonna go through. We gonna get this struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna get this work.
Mm-hmm. Because it has to
Yeah,
be in plans anyway. So it's like
the level of your preparedness gonna determine how much of this work your ass gonna get.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So when the system shut down, don't say we didn't tell you. Don't say you didn't have a chance to prepare, because I've been telling motherfuckers for 3 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I laid down the structure of the fall so that motherfuckers don't step into the road and a building drop on his head. Right? This shit is over with. But in the process of it, you still got to clean up the old shit before you break out the new shit.
Right.
Because you need to know what part of the old shit has to go and what parts you can use even if it's temporarily. Because you got to use anything that's useful.
Right.
And anything that's not useful, you discard that shit. This is why we say no more GMOs in the food.
And
right?
mm-hmm.
So they burning down the factories they're making the GMO food. One of Gates' motherfucking manufacturing facilities just burned up overseas yesterday. So we now watching those little events like that, like Rome on fire, the time, the date, what's going on in the world politically, what's going on across the land socially, right? If you don't pay attention to that stuff, you can't see it. But if you see it, the people that's not paying attention is going to say that you don't see what you're telling them because they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the glasses on.
Yeah.
And somebody said, don't forget to read that card. You must have pulled a card.
Yeah, I have been. Just when I was talking, stuff was coming out confirming, but he hasn't asked a question, y'all. But I hope y'all listening to what he's saying, because that's the thing. It's like, the road is narrow, and the reason why they say that is because y'all attention span, even my attention span, I'll come home knowing I need to do some shit and stay on Instagram. Like, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Because and how right are you with spirit? How light is your heart? Because there's a time and a place for everything. And don't think that you know what really fucks with me is when people think they're supposed to be covered by grace when they doing all kind of wrong shit.
Well, you know, that's just narcissism at its finest.
But that's that
I can
inaccountability.
fuck over. Look, I'm fucking over everybody I come across talking about unprotected.
Right, and then get mad when you get stabbed or you know what I'm saying, you trip and break your arm. What? God didn't have me. No, you didn't have God.
Flat out. Flat out. So we need to go back to where we didn't have nursing homes. If one of the aunties couldn't take care of herself, she'd go out to Big Mama house.
Yes.
And then the teenage girls that was learning healthcare would be they CNAs that take care of them because their family, they ain't gonna mistreat them.
Yeah, they'll be over there, and then you soaking up all of that game.
Yeah.
Like you getting all of that, all of those lessons. You know, when elders, like, you think they repeating themselves or they just running off at the mouth. That's spirit speaking to you. That's a lesson.
Yep.
That's lessons. You know, the best way to learn something is through somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through the hardship. So when you hear people,
that's called the way of the wise.
so when you hear people sharing their personal story, instead of making fun of them and talking shit, actually listen to the lesson. And a lot of y'all laugh or make fun of people when they being vulnerable and really missing the blessing is coming to save your ass. I need to be more compassionate. I'm not being compassionate because the reason why I'm talking like that is I'm talking to myself.
Look, you care. Look, that's segment.
Yeah, I'm talking. You know,
segment ain't gonna look. Segment got look. Y'all gotta straighten the fuck up. That's what segment tell them.
You know,
I don't got time to be trying to burp you and give you a pacifier. Get your motherfucking ass off your motherfucking pity party horse. Get your ass in the fight. You part of this shit, whether you want to be or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well pick up your motherfucking banner and march with the motherfuckers that's gonna be victorious because they on the move. That's what segment gonna tell them.
Get it together, like 702 said. We have to get it together. And you know, the one thing that irks my nerves is when we claim royalty. It's in our DNA. We got magic, and ain't nothing magical about none of the shit that you do.
Nothing magical and nothing regal.
Nothing.
Got no etiquette whatsoever.
No code, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
But what you said was so true. If you are able to connect with your family,